What's up, everybody? Today I'm at the Pull-A-Part yard here in Akron, Ohio, and huge thanks to them for allowing me to come out and film. And so we're gonna do another yard walk here and see what cool stuff we can find today. Let's go. All right, so we're gonna start off here in the import section. This is a little bit of a smaller yard, but still lots of cool stuff. They got a little bit of everything here. So we got an Acura TL. This is an interesting shade of blue. I'm not sure if this is an OEM color. Maybe an Acura expert can give me some info. This one's pretty well picked through. I don't think, yeah, it looks like it's an automatic. But I always love those generation of TLs. And yeah, cool color though. I also already see here a R56 Cooper S, which is, this one's not that old, but these again just were not very reliable. And as a result, 2012 Cooper S here ended up at the yard. That one's an automatic. But it is a Cooper S. Lots of good parts still left on that one. This is another Saab 97X. This is a car that I spotted in my last junkyard walk at the Pittsburgh yard, and here in Akron we have one as well. It's amazing. These are so rare, and the fact that these are all over the place in these junkyards, I mean, I guess it's two, but still I'm just kind of surprised. You never see these things. This one actually has a lot of good parts. The whole front end there is still available. Looks like there's pretty complete interior on that one, and yeah, pretty cool to see those while they're still remaining here. And here's another one a little bit older, you don't see too often. 2003 Pathfinder. Cool color for that one too. And man, it's been a while since I've seen this generation Pathfinder on the road, and looks like some pretty good parts still left on that one too. And yeah, man, it's like I do not see this very often. That's cool. We got some not so old big German luxury sedans here, especially that 7 Series. But those, again, just lots of things that go wrong and send these to the yard. But and this one looks like it's got a parking ticket on it there, so probably just abandoned. 2003. Still has the club there. That's a fun touch. It had the first iteration of iDrive that was very iffy, and the much maligned trunk lid on these that BMW fans hated when it came out. But yeah, we also a couple of interesting ones here. A nice E46 3 Series 2013 X1. I'm guessing this one looks like it was just in an accident that sent it here, but that one's pretty rough looking too. Here's a couple more rare ones you don't see too often. A Mazda B Series based on the Ford Ranger. And yeah, not in too bad a shape until you get back here, where clearly there is some creative ways to fix rust. But another car you don't really see very often. And right next to it, a car you don't see very often in the junkyard is a 4Runner. I feel like all of these generation 4Runners are very sought after, and typically probably get saved no matter what condition they're in before they end up here. But this one ended up here, 2000 4Runner, and I guess still got some interior left. But yeah, I feel like I never see 4Runners out at a junkyard, so that's cool to see. And I feel like usually these are already either off the road or still just running because they run forever. But a 98 Corolla, don't see 90s cars in the yard too often, but see that one. Right next to it we have another pretty rare car, a Nissan Altima Coupe. So fun, again, the era where coupes, the regular coupes like this, were actually a viable business thing. And this one's a 2009, and little rough, but still lots of good parts on that one. And yeah, just another car from a lost era when we could have two-door versions of stuff like an Altima. Here's a great sports car that's always unfortunate to see in the junkyard, a Mazda RX-8. This one has had the engine and transmission all pulled out. So I'm guessing either someone wanted it, maybe it was one of the few that was still in good shape, or just a project car maybe. Looks like there was some mods done at one point. And 2004. Lots of stuff picked through there, but maybe some good parts still. But such a great car. And oh, this one does have some rust, so that's unfortunate. Lots of rust actually, so maybe that's what sent it here. But such a cool thing with these swing out doors, you know, little side coach doors or suicide doors, whatever you want to call them. But man, crazy to see that here. Now, here's a very rare find, a 2012 Hyundai Equus. The Equus was the top dog, you know, basically this is like what is now the Genesis G90. And this one obviously has had some mods done to it, but man, like, that is pretty crazy to see here. And this one though, I mean, it looks like it's it's got some tears in the seats and pretty rough in here. Got a wild hemp scented little tree there. And but yeah, I mean, these things were very prestigious, and I mean, even still, I just very rarely see these things in rough shape. They're usually still, you know, very well cared for, because they were expensive cars. Obviously they depreciated and, you know, did the thing that all large luxury sedans do, where they just, you know, drop in value really fast. But wow, it's been a long time since I've seen a Hyundai Equus at all, and especially did not expect to see one here in the junkyard. But still some cool parts there, like the steering wheel. But yeah, man, those seats are rough. This thing, I don't know how this got so beat up. That's crazy. And here's another non-wrecked 4Runner. This is a newer generation, but again, another very beloved car, and it's kind of surprising it ended up here. This one doesn't look too bad. A little bit of sun damage with the paint and stuff, but otherwise, I'm curious. Someone told me in the last video, a good way to try and check for mileage in these cars with digital odometers is to look for an oil change sticker. But I don't think we have one here on this, unfortunately, to give me any kind of clues as to why this one ended up here. But 2003 for this one, and yeah, looks like no accident damage that I can see, really. Just a few dings, but wow, crazy. This is an interesting find. We have a 2004 Audi S4 wagon. Very rare, very cool car. Of course, has all the good bits pulled out of it. But this one, interesting owner. We have a red headliner. And I'm sure some other mods that have since been stripped away since most of this has been pulled out of here. But 2005 actually, S4 wagon. But I mean, these were really rare, really sought after. And this one, I'm guessing, would have stayed on the road if it wasn't for this accident that this thing got creamed in the back here. That's a pretty high speed impact to push that far. That's pretty crazy, but hopefully everyone was all right. And yeah, but what a rare find. S4 wagon. I can't tell. Yeah, it's just an automatic. I think these were only automatic, but yeah, very rare car there. Maybe 4Runners in the junkyard are more common than I thought they were, at least around here. We got a 96 4Runner here. Still has the powertrain. Yeah, definitely rusty here, but you know, just kind of surprising. Again, something like this, I feel like these go for big money, even, you know, in not ideal conditions. This is a limited trim, and you know, rough interior, but has all the other components. And because it's a 96, hold on, I can see the mileage on this one actually. Let me see what we got here. Looks like it's 268,000 miles. Not terrible, but also not crazy high for something like this, honestly. But otherwise, yeah, really nice shape. And I mean, still 268,000 miles is really good for most cars. Wow. Yeah, unfortunate that one's ended up here, because again, little TLC, that might have still been able to be on the road. Here's an oldie you don't see very often, a 1993 Toyota Tercel. And man, just this one's a two-door too. A two-door Tercel. Very rare car, especially these days. This one is unfortunately, yeah, an automatic. But because it's a 93, let's see. That one won't open up. Let me see if I can get into the other side. So I'm curious about the mileage on this one. It's the DX trim. And car this old, it might have a good amount of miles. Let's see if this opens up. All right, let's see what we're working with here. Looks like, I think, if I'm seeing that correctly, I think it's 94,000 miles, just 94,000. Not sure how you managed to do that. And yeah, I mean, maybe this has been off the road for a long time, but a 93 that's lasted this long and still has only racked up 94,000 miles. A grave injustice to what these cars are capable of. But man, that's surprising. I was expecting something way higher than that. I can't imagine it's a mechanical failure or anything that sent it here, but man, if that thing had been kept in better condition, that'd be a really rare find. Two-door Tercel with 94,000 miles. Crazy. Here's another one I'm a little surprised is in the yard. It is a 2004 Acura RL. And the RL was, of course, the largest, grandest thing Acura sold at the time. Really nice cars. And should have lasted a long time, too. This one still does have the screen in there with the 6-disc compact disc changer. And lots of good parts still left on this one. Very cool. And it's a little hard to read the oil change sticker, but it looks like this one has done about 217,000 miles, I believe is what that says. So pretty good for a car like this, I think. And this one isn't really out of the ordinary. This is just a 2014 Toyota Yaris. You know, 2014 though, is pretty new. You'd think this would have lasted longer. I'm not sure what happened here. It doesn't look like there was any accident damage, but there's lots of rust. But the interesting thing that caught my eye on this one is the interior modifications. So we've got some affirmations there on the steering wheel, some good reminders to know your worth. We also have some bedazzling here around the air vents that, you know, it's could use a little more attention to detail, but they jazzed it up in the way that they wanted to. They even put some knurling in a way with the bedazzling around the little HVAC controls there. I don't see any other modifications here, but you know, a fun way to jazz it up. And not sure why this thing saw the end of the road, but yeah, very creative owner here. And here's a rare one. This is a 1970. It says Volkswagen CC, the Cabriolet, you know, Carmen Ghia thing. Looks like might have been an engine fire, possibly. I'm not sure. So those taillights look a little melty, or maybe there's something else going on here. But wow, and you can see it's still a little diagram for the manual shifter and how you're supposed to shift it. It's since been torn out, long gone. But wow, very crazy to see one of those here. And we've got two other fairly oddball cars right next to each other. First, a 2009 Mazda 5. This was this fun little thing of a small, like, you know, half-size minivan. Had sliding doors though, and you know, all the usual minivan traits. The crazy thing was these you could actually get with a manual transmission. This one's an automatic, so we didn't find one of the unicorn manuals, but you could actually get these with a manual, which was crazy. Again, different time, just, you know, 15, 16 years ago. But yeah, that's cool. But right next to it, you can see there's an Infiniti M35. And these are always crazy to see. I remember when these were new and all the marketing for how cool and sophisticated these things were. And this one is locked up on that side. But 2007 for this one. And I believe the M35s had the same V6 you got in the G35s and all that. But got the nice wood grain there, and a very luxurious interior, and sad to see that one is not on the road anymore. And here's another very interesting spot. Clearly a wrapped, crazy, like purpley pearlescent, but even like underneath the wrap there's like this green color for this Nissan Altima 2012. I don't even think they came in this green color for that matter, let alone the purple. So I'm not sure. Yeah, just lots of questions here that'll never be answered. Just a regular, ordinary automatic Altima, so nothing else special here, but just very interesting. It looks like they had lug nuts that matched, but yeah, that's an interesting one. I mean, it probably looked cool whenever it was actually all, you know, done and in nice shape, but very interesting find. Let's see what else we have here. Oh, here's another. Man, I always hate seeing Bajas in the yard because I love Bajas and I'd never like to see them taken off the road if I could help it. But got a Baja 2003, and let's see, automatic. Looks like it's, I think, the non-turbo. Yeah, so nothing too special. This one has some interesting little bumper protectors. But yeah, I just love the Bajas. And if you have a Baja, please stick with it, just because these are so cool. They are going to be rare. Yeah, they didn't sell a ton of them, and just such a cool car. This one even has a nice little roof rack still there. Might be worth something. Wow, here's another rare one, a 1990 Prelude. I believe this is what, 2nd gen, I think, for the Prelude. I'm not sure what ended up happening to this one. Hopefully we can check out the mileage and see, as the seatbelts built into the door there, which is fun. And what do we got here? Looks like 208,000 miles on the odometer there, almost 209. Pretty good run for this car. This is a manual and still does have an Acura head unit in a Prelude. That's interesting, but has the moonroof, original seats, and man, what a find. Honestly, I was again surprised. Again, something this old you would think would have higher miles. There's the fun little pop-up lights. Oh, it looks like maybe this had some fun towards the end of its life with the tape over it. Owned by an enthusiast, no doubt. But man, yeah, crazy to see that here. And right next to it, we have a 1999 Integra, the 2-door Integra with the hatch here. Maybe we'll see a return of this based on the new Prelude that's coming. And pretty well stripped through. Looks like this one ended its life because of an accident. Who knows how long ago. And everything else has been stripped out of it there. But you know, a rare car. You don't see too many Integras anymore. Here's another car that you probably see a little bit more of, but the Toyota Solara, Camry Solara to be exact. This is the nice SLE V6. This one also looks like accident is what took that off the road. So otherwise, it's the Toyota. It should be on the road a lot longer, probably. Although, I mean, this is still pretty sufficiently old. And that's interesting. Someone decided to put the fan in the headlight area there, or maybe that's just part of the accident, because, man, this thing is chewed up. But, wow, that's crazy. We also have the lovable little Beetle. See a lot of Beetles in the yard, sadly. My mom had a 2001, so these always have a soft spot with me. This one, oh, it's actually a manual. I know there's a lot of manuals, so not super rare. But this is actually 2001 too, same exact year as my mom's. But with a manual. We didn't have a manual, unfortunately. But, oh, and this is, okay, never mind. I saw the KMH and I thought maybe it was a Canadian car or something, but it had that monsoon stereo. And man, I remember all this. The clock at the top, the opening moonroof little dial there you twisted. And man, yeah, I know these is another easy car to hate. A lot of people just, you know, don't think they're that great anymore. But I mean, when these came out, just so much fanfare, so much excitement, so many people that just, you know, couldn't snatch it up fast enough. And they were really good sellers, especially for those first few early years. And yeah, I'll always be sentimental about the new Beetle. I'm probably one of the only people to say that. But other things we have here, this is another rare one, a Saab 9.3, 2004 Cabriolet. Also looks like maybe some accident damage, maybe not, I don't know. It does have some nice complete interior bits here still. That's cool. And let's check out the front. Well, there's another Mini we can check out next. Yeah, this one looks like it's just probably pretty rough around the edges. Yeah, so we got a Cooper-esque convertible here. And you got a real nice look at that turbo. Without any of the other stuff around it. It's still there. I don't know if it's worth anything, but you got Borg Warner turbocharger there. And yeah, nice convertible. Looks like it's an automatic as well. Yeah, so a lot of the other stuff picked through, but 2012, again, it's crazy, these R56s. I mean, again, they're not reliable, so I guess there's no mystery why they're here, but still just sad to see stuff that new. Other surprises here, I mean, again, maybe not a surprise, but to see a 2012 Fiat 500. Fun stripes on this one. I like, that's a fun little combo with the light. And got some speakers just hanging out. And yeah, not sure. This one also has some motivational quotes there. Listen to your inner champion. But I always thought these were really fun, really cool. I have a 2024 Fiat 500e, so I definitely have a soft spot. This one maybe had some engine fire or something, I don't know. But interesting, we also have another Beetle here. And right next to that, I won't wax poetic about Beetles anymore. That's a 98 though, that is the launch year. That's very exciting back in the height of the popularity. But look at this, a 98 Volvo S70, another rare one. I don't know, I think 98. It's just after when they started putting digital odometers in, yeah. So I don't know how long this one made it. There's no oil change sticker. We do have an owner's manual though. That might be valuable. Yeah, really cool. Here's another fairly rare sought after car here, 2000 Lexus GS 300. This is the lower trim, but I mean these, again, people still really love these, you know, the rear wheel drive basis for these, and you know, again, Lexus reliability, and cool sports sedans. This one has no cluster anymore, and no oil change sticker to give us any clues about how long this one lasted. But really nice, had the memory seats and all kinds of nice luxuries, and yeah, I guess something about this one wasn't worth keeping around, but yeah, looks pretty complete still. And here's a couple other rare cars you don't typically see. We have a 2012 Volkswagen CC. This was the coupé thing. They were trying to bring that down to the masses, since stuff like the Mercedes CLS was wildly popular when it came out, and Volkswagen wanted to, you know, copy along there. And yeah, this one looks pretty complete too. But car, again, you don't see very often anymore. Here's another more oddball car. This is a Hyundai Azera 2009. And you know, like a nicer Sonata. I think it was, you know, a little bit of a bigger wheelbase and stuff. This one off the road due to an accident, and a pretty gnarly one, but looks like we got some bald tires to blame for that one. That's there's no mystery there, unless that was put on after the fact. But yep, I can completely understand why this car crashed. I mean, we're down to the cords there. Holy crap. That's unfortunate. Tires, everyone. Tires are very important. Stay up on your tires so you don't have your car end its life unnecessarily early. But man, it's, yeah, 2009 too, not super old. We got a fun little dinosaur hanging on for the ride here to the crusher. But crazy there. And let me see, we got also a little Hyundai Accent 2009, little hatchback with a tow hitch. I'm not sure this would be an ideal tow car, but here we are. And here's another car I was just talking about in my last junkyard walk, a Toyota Echo. And this is another two-door Echo. I thought these were more rare than they are, but I mean, just even the time these things existed in, you know, this is a 2001. You could have a subcompact coupe. You can't, you know, do either of those things these days, and especially not combined. This one's just an automatic. The one I saw last time was a manual, which is even more rare. But this one has some interesting like cladding, which I don't recall, but I guess it looks factory. They have a little bit of extra cladding there for some reason. Nice green color, but Toyota Echo. It's a shame, you know, low-cost stuff like that doesn't exist anymore. And other things here, we got a 94 Camry. There's another old one. Just a regular four-door, but I feel like, you know, again, a lot of these have either gone off the road already, or the ones that are remaining are the road warriors that are continuing on. Let's see the mileage on this one here. If I can get this open here. Let me see if I can just stick my arm through. Looks like we got 289,000 miles on that. Pretty solid. No, not amazing for a Toyota, but you know, pretty amazing for just about any other car. Glad to see that one had a nice long life though. Ooh, here's another cool one, another rare European car, 1988 Porsche 924S. All pretty well stripped through, although that original spare might be a little collectible. I have no clue, but that's kind of cool. This one had the big moonroof that was available. And let me see, looks like we still actually have the engine. I think I'm rusty on these, so I'm gonna sound like an idiot talking about this. I think yeah, that's a 6-cylinder, but yeah, and it's talking about the maintenance there and stuff. I can't make out how long it lasted though as far as mileage or anything, but wow, this is cool to see. Flip up headlights and all that, of course. And man, guess it's just one they weren't able to save, but looks like body and stuff's not in bad shape, whatever's left of it here. But yeah, crazy. We've got a 2012 Mitsubishi Outlander Sport I'm not going to really mention aside from interesting sticker there. Let you try and decipher what all that means. But moving on here, let's see. We've got a lot of ordinary stuff here still, CX-7. And here's another old Camry, a 98. And see, I think this one might be digital odometer by 98 too. Yep, so we're not going to have any info No oil change stickers on this one either, but nice solid old Toyota. Looks like it's been sitting under a tree quite a bit though. Mazda 3, kind of looks like the Mazda Speed. I got excited for a second, but just that body work that they had, even on the non-Mazda Speed versions, pretty cool. And ooh, here's a Matrix. You don't see Matrixes too often. 2005. I really like this like silvery blue, sky blue kind of color. And I don't think this is any kind of special Matrix, just run-of-the-mill, just a regular automatic. But always fun to see the Matrix. All right, so that was the end of the imports. So now we're gonna go to the GM section here. So one thing that catches my eye immediately here is a Pontiac I think these are, yeah, G5, 2008 G5. Let me see, this one's just an automatic, nothing special, but yeah, such a fun last little thing here. 2009 was the last year for Pontiac, and I believe that was the end. So this is right towards the end there, and crazy to see that one. Let's see what else we've got here. Here's another one that used to be a staple on the roads of America for a long time and has since just about disappeared. This is a 97 Cavalier, and looks like it's pretty well picked through, not much interior left, but still does have some good front end pieces. Looks like it still has decent powertrain components left, but rest in peace, old Cavalier. These things, you know, really, I think, served a lot of people really well. Were pretty solid little cars. Again, they were no Corolla, but you know, they were, you know, really great little cars, and fun color on that one too. And continuing on with the interesting sticker edition, I'll just let you read that one there. For this Acadia, which the owner clearly didn't think very much of. We also have a fun 1994 Cadillac DeVille. Has the Landau top, or whatever they, whatever fancy word they chose for that back in the day. And this one actually interesting. Looks like it maybe ended its life due to an accident. So maybe this one actually still had some life left in it. I'm not sure. But let's check out the interior here, because maybe we can see an odometer for this one if it's not been pulled. Oh, it's the digital dash. That's cool. This one had it. All the fancy buttons there, and you can see the very thick, interesting airbags we have for that time period as well. But hopefully it did its job and protected the owner. But yeah, crazy. Here's another one you probably completely forgot about. This is a 1999 Oldsmobile Intrigue. It looked like it had an amateur windshield repair possibly done there. Not sure what's going on with that. But pretty complete otherwise, and 99 Suburban behind it here. But Intrigues, again, trying to achieve more and be more prestigious, you know, with the styling and really dressing up, you know, the otherwise, you know, traditional GM platform these all used at the time period. But pretty rare find there. Here's another oldie. This is a 97 Buick LeSabre. Looks like it still has, I think that was the 3800. I could be wrong. But it's got the nice, look at that plush leather. That is very comfortable looking. And it was one of the early ones to have the steering wheel controls, and I can't remember if these ones had a digital dash or not, but you know, fun also to have just this bench. You know, this little thing could turn into an extra seat, and you know, all clear in the middle there, no console or anything. And yeah, just the car, again, at least I don't see very often, so that's kind of fun to see. And the next generation of the more prestigious Oldsmobiles here was this Aurora 2003, another one that I remember the marketing of how this was so futuristic. I mean, the styling was pretty crazy for the time, and there were some very forward-thinking ideas that we now are seeing just now in modern cars. Like we have this wraparound driver-centric control area, which again is like a precursor to the C8 Corvette and all this stuff that we now have. And you know, you can even change the temperature and the fan speed on the steering wheel controls. You know, again, just like this is what I really like about GM, is they sometimes have these really fun forward-thinking ideas that in some cases, you know, might be nailing it exactly with what people ended up doing, you know, 10, 20 years later or whatever. And there's other things like that where everyone's like, actually, we don't need to put that on the steering wheel, at least not yet. Who knows? Maybe they'll try that again in the future with them or someone else. But, you know, just fun ideas, creativity, taking chances, you know, not doing a safe bet for once. It's just kind of fun and Yeah, cool styling I think on those too. And here's one, we got a 2007 Hummer H3. Clearly again some rust that maybe had been covered by some fun carbon fiber tape at one point. They tried the same on the back here to prolong its, I guess, longevity a little bit. And oh, I got some interesting, I don't know if that was factory to have the silver around the climate controls and stuff. I guess so, because you see it on the gauges there too. But it still has the steering wheel and everything. I remember these were, you know, very exciting when they first came out, you know, in a more affordable, more palatable Hummer for those who didn't want the gigantic H2. And yeah, curious how long that one lasted, but interesting to see it here. And here's one that's sentimental to me personally. This is a Buick Century. This is a 96. This is the same exact year my grandfather actually had one of these. His was like a sandy gold color. But these things are cool. This actually still has the hood ornament. Maybe that's worth something, I don't know. But lots of rust on this one. And again, we are in the Rust Belt. And this is certainly a relic. Oh, and actually it looks like this one might have lasted longer if it wasn't for whatever accident it had that caused that airbag to blow. It doesn't look bad on the front, so I'm not sure why that went off, unless that's after the fact with towing or something. And looks like we got 78,000 miles on here. Or maybe it's maybe, yeah, 78. I mean, maybe it turned over, who knows. But man, I remember these very well as a kid riding along, and has the typical wear and tear on the headliner there, but nice plush cloth seats. And yeah, same thing, having the bench. I remember I sat in the bench of one of these as a kid. It was so exciting sitting up front. My grandfather drove in this, and man, this is the Century Custom 96. Has a fun little, I think this is like a European thing. I think like the 5 Series started this with this little like luggage rack on the back that no one actually used. It was just kind of a fun thing. But I mean, you know, wraparound taillights, a futuristic thing that we see again coming back these days. And yeah, I know again, no one has any sympathy for the Buick Century, but personally this one is near and dear to my heart. And I'm impressed that this one made it this long and lasted here. I feel like most of these have been off the road for a long time. So great to see that one here. And we got a couple more cool ones here. We have a Riviera by Buick. Trying to make it fancier in any possible way they could. This is a 2-door though, and very cool. They've got the red pinstripe. Surprisingly, this one doesn't have the vinyl top unless that's been removed. It looks like it had the little rear part there at some point. Let's see if we can open this one up. And man, yeah, look at that interior. Very plush. Actually very complete and in nice shape too. I don't know. Let's see what we got. I mean, mileage again, only a 5-digit odometer, but 55,000. I'm sure it's hopefully 155. But man, yeah, what a really nice car. I mean, you know, headliner always, you know, sagging and stuff, but cool steering wheel. And also 85 mile per hour speedometer there. Always a fun touch of the time. And this is an 85. Really nice car, and doesn't seem like it's in bad shape either. I'm not sure, you know, I guess just age or some other issue, but that's pretty cool to see. And I think we also have right on the other side here another relic of the Rust Belt that again has just been taken off the road, but was very popular at the time, the Pontiac Montana. I knew someone that had one of these, and theirs was the Warner Brothers edition that had the TVs in the back. I don't know if this one is that. I know they had special badging. I don't see that on this one. So, I mean, that was pretty rare. But yeah, let me see if I can just open it up, see if it has. Yeah, it's probably long gone if it wasn't here, but it does have some nice controls on the roof. But back when even Pontiac made minivans, 2004, you know, towards the end there before they all gave up just a few years later. But this one was fun with, you know, having the more rugged body cladding, trying to take after the Aztec, and for whatever reason they thought that was a good idea. But I think these actually look pretty cool for a minivan. And yeah, crazy to see that. I haven't seen one of those in forever. And speaking of rare minivans, here's another example. The last generation of the GM vans here. This is the Buick Terraza. And if I didn't see that sticker, I wouldn't have remembered what this was called. I know there was the Chevy Uplander, there was the Saturn Relay, but the Buick one was, I think, a little less memorable. You know, just jazzed things up a little bit here. wow, that's actually like a pristine, I mean, not quite pristine, but very nice interior still in this one. Maybe not high miles, I don't know. Oil change sticker says 109 there is the next due oil change. So yeah, and actually, does this have multiple TVs? I recall something about like it had that cool track system. We're gonna have to hop back there and check it out. But up front here, I mean, yeah, this thing's really nice. Looks like there is some rust, so I'm guessing that's the culprit for this one. 2005, I mean, it's old, but man, yeah, I don't know if that stuff's easy to sell or not, but I'm not mechanically inclined enough. But it has a DVD drive, and these ones are just bins. Okay, so but the one is in fact a nice little TV with a DVD player. That is cool. Got like a little instructional CD-ROM kind of thing there as well, and they got tray or little bins there. I thought it was a tray table, but wow, this is, yeah, a really nice find. They loaded up these vans really nicely back in the day. Wow, yeah. Oh, fun little cargo solution here. I don't recall from these. That's cool. And yeah, again, a car that again never got any credit, but I feel like in hindsight, pretty cool. And this one's probably not that rare, but we have a Chevy Avalanche, which is, you know, a car I remember when these were so hot and so sought after. This is a 2005. This is the original one, which had the more extreme styling. They kind of watered down for the second generation, but these ones were very bold, and I just remember, again, people just loving these things. They just couldn't get enough of that crazy sport bar thing in the back. The fact that you could have all of this opened up as a pass-through there, and just have a ton of space in these things. And just, yeah, another cool relic. Here's another grand old Buick, a 96 Park Avenue with drum brakes. But another very classy car you don't see on the road really much anymore. And this one looks like, again, 5-digit odometer, 73,000. Might be more, who knows. This one actually looks like, again, airbags might have ended it here. But look at that plush interior, just miles and miles of comfort there. And yeah, I don't know, maybe there's some reason why these things have the airbags blown, because it's like all these cars don't have front end damage that would suggest needing those. Maybe there's something I'm missing there. Feel free to let me know in the comments if there's something I need to be educated on there. Otherwise, we got a 99 Chevy Astro van. Don't see those too often anymore. And here we go, another old GM thing, Oldsmobile 88, 1994. Another relic here that clearly time has not been kind to. But see the fun interior on this one, very plush. And again, odometer is not going to tell us anything. Although this actually looks like it has a, yeah, wow. So wait a minute. So this has a 6-digit odometer, and it looks like it's still only 68,000 miles. I don't know if this was, you know, elderly person's car, just didn't get driven very much, or what the deal is, but 68,000 miles. Very plush. That's, I guess, why it looks pretty nice in here, given the age. But man, that's crazy. And it's the Royale too. And looks pretty complete. Lots of good parts there on that. Crazy to see that that has ended up here after traveling so few miles. Here's another one I haven't seen forever, at least. This is, again, another, I think, Oldsmobile 88 Royale, I think. That's what I'm deciphering there. Yeah, 88. Oh, Oldsmobile 98. Wow, another relic here. I also got to say, these old door handles are really cool. Very heavy doors, too. That's impressive. And oh, this is the Regency Brougham, actually. I was wrong. And I think we got a digital dash in these, maybe. Looks like all the parts are taken out of there. But I mean, look at these nice seats. Man, you were living, you just sit in those seats every day. Very comfy. Doesn't get much better than that, especially in 1988. Very nice. And all the controls here, power windows, seat tilter, and everything else. Pretty nice shape too for this one, honestly. And again, trying to do the thing with these little lights in the bottom. I love still the old airplane logo for Oldsmobile there. Fun times. Here's two other fun ones. We have a, I think this is a Pontiac Torrent. Yeah, 2008 Torrent, but the more exciting one here is this S10. It's a 2003 yellow. It has the roof rack, and I think this, let me see the sticker here, because I don't know my nomenclature. This is the ZR5. I don't know if that actually meant anything. We have like a hard tonneau cover on this one. I don't know if that was factory or not, but I remember, again, like the brochures for these things and the bright yellow color and the thing, you know, tearing up the dirt, and just another fun one, you know, doing it in yellow and everything. And yeah, very cool. And here's the last rare find from the GM section. We have a Saturn Ion 2-door. Very fun car. Again, one of the last of the quirky Saturns. It was really different from the GM, you know, vehicles it was based on. It had those very durable plastic body panels. It was a 2005. And this one also, again, has these swing out little bonus rear doors there, but it is a coupe really. Has the center mounted gauges, but look, we got a manual here. That can't be too common. I have a manual non-redline Ion, because the redlines, you know, had the manual, but this is not a redline. It's just a regular one with the manual. I don't even recall that combo being available. So that's, I mean, I'm guessing obviously it was, but and I don't know if I can see any kind of, yeah, no oil change sticker. I don't know how long this one lasted, but yeah, it's another rare one. Probably haven't seen in a long time, especially with a manual. Very cool. And here's another quirky older car you don't see too often. This is a Ford Flex. You know, before that was the Freestyle, and then for the second generation, it was called the Flex. It's a 2009 Flex that had those cool strakes in the doors. Very luxurious interior, and it had a lot of nice bells and whistles, and a nice alternative to the minivans. You know, it was just a few years earlier, Ford got rid of the minivans, but this does, as you can see, have a third row, and was a nice kind of fun alternative. Obviously not as, you know, practical as a van, because you don't have the sliding doors, but you do have a good amount of, you know, cargo space there with that well. You could probably fit some stuff in, and yeah, very cool to see that one. And here's another one that is another very cool car of the same era, similar styling too. I don't know if this is the 500, the Ford 500, or the Ford Taurus X at this point. Aha, it says Taurus, so and also a funny little bumper sticker on this old F-150. And more funny stickers. Man, this person really laid into the slow idea. That is, that's quite funny. On that 96 F-150 that looks like it may have had an accident. But anyway, Ford Taurus, and not the X version. The X was the wagon, which was also a cool thing. But 2008 Taurus, when they try to bring it back here, it's this nice large luxury thing, because for whatever reason they didn't want to stick with the 500 name, so they tried to do this. Wow, this is a nice complete interior. Has a little analog clock there in the middle, and let's see, I think I got an oil change sticker up there, but I can't see what it says because it's been faded by the sun. But you know, wood grain, really a nice car. And you know, a time when, again, we still had Crown Vic, we had this, we had the Fusions that were just coming onto the scene as well. And yeah, very rough condition for that one, but yeah, crazy to see that. Here's another fun relic. This is a Ford Explorer Sport Track, the truck version of the Explorer, that again, you know, they did for a few years in 2004. I think maybe it had a 4-year run, maybe a little more, I don't know. But fun steering wheel cover there. But just another cool idea of like, hey, we do lots of trucks at Ford. Let's make the Explorer into a truck too. And you know, again, this was around the same time as, again, Subaru Baja and others, and certainly made sense for the time, and I think did sell decently well, even if it wasn't as capable as a Ranger or an F-150. Still a very cool one nonetheless. We also got some old Crown Vics. I feel like most Crown Vics are mostly off the road these days, but got a couple of those. Look like they're maybe old service cars. Speaking of old Ford vans, though, here we have that last edition here. This is the 2003 or 2005 Ford Freestar, the last one they did here. Again, still based on the Windstars and stuff of the past, but pretty decent interior still on this one. And yeah, the last attempt at minivans for Ford here. Before they got out of it, GM got out of it, but yeah, different time. Here's another oldie. We have a Mercury Grand Marquis, of course, the slightly nicer version of the Crown Vic. This is a 97, and keypad on the door. Very, you know, futuristic for the 90s, honestly. Have some lumbar support there on these nice seats that says wood grain, and some of the stuff taken out. But look at that odometer, 192,000 miles. Obviously, everyone knows Crown Vics are pretty much bulletproof, but this really proves it with this one. Mercury doing almost 200,000 miles in the late 90s. That was not common outside of, you know, again, just these at least. This platform really did have that longevity for that police use, the service use, all that. And speaking of the 500, here's a 2005 500. So again, just a couple years before that Taurus and that rebadge. And this one has some fun tribal little, you know, whatever that's called on the back there, tattoo. But same kind of interior and everything. And obviously this one's pretty rough, but you know, again, it's so funny, just the same basic car with a new name. But this, look at this, spotted this as well from across the way, a 98 Taurus that's really in great shape. I mean, even, you know, the paint's pretty good. Usually these, again, worn by the sun. This one must have been garage kept. 24 valve, dual overhead cam. I think that means V6, I'm not sure. But yeah, and let's see if this one has, yeah, this 6-digit odometer, 134,000 miles on that one there. And again, not super impressive by modern standards, but for the time, not bad. A fun little power antenna is cool. Yeah, but I mean, I remember these things being everywhere. We had a rental car one at one point, I think. I think actually my grandparents did when they came into town one time, but had that fun like circular center console there. Just again, different times, just so fun to look back at, you know, what was cool, what was stylish. Oh wow, here's another one that very rare you don't see anymore, and another one that's near and dear to my heart, a Ford Tempo. This was not this exact one obviously, but I was brought home from the hospital as a baby in an 88 Tempo. This is one of the last year's 94 Tempo. I think this might actually be the last year. But these things were horribly slow. They had the Pinto 4-cylinder. Maybe these newer, later ones had something a little bit more powerful, but I know our 88 had, I think it had something like 90 horsepower or something like that. So incredibly slow. I remember being terrified about getting rear-ended merging onto the highway with my parents in this. You know, again, full width taillights, even back then when the economy stuff was very much in vogue. And you know, they had the you know, automatic shoulder belt. I'm sure annoyed some people to no end. And wow, this even has the original literature and stuff. That's cool. And I think this might be, I remember these are just 5-digit odometers. This was only showing 19,000 miles. I'm assuming it's at least 119. They did put in a new stereo, but I remember that shifter. There was a little cassette holder down there that they typically had. This one has the armrest, which I think was an option, I can't remember. But lift for shoulder belt release, man. Yeah, this is the 2-door, so a little more rare. But wow, lots of memories for me getting stranded in Tempos. These things were, at least the one we had was horribly unreliable. Just complete junk from a reliable transportation standpoint. But, you know, everything through the rose-colored glasses of enough time, actually sentimental, and yeah, just kind of crazy to see another relic of the Rust Belt here. Got an old 2001 Lincoln Navigator, and these, I think it was the first generation of the Navigator. Pretty big deal at the time. I love the little globe badge there. It's fun. Very plush, although this one has some seat covers that aren't quite as luxurious. We also have a Mustang here, and this looks greenish. It's a 2006, so I guess it's not a bullet. For a second, I thought this was a bullet, but it's just, I think that, I can't remember what they call that green color. It's like a lime green they had, and then it looks like it's been since resprayed as a black car, and I'm not sure if it's anything special, but I love that generation, the retro look of those new Mustangs, and unfortunate to see those here awaiting the crusher. I got fun little Fiestas here, Rangers, kind of all the usual stuff here, nothing super special otherwise. Another relic here, a Chrysler Aspen 2009. These just launched at the exact wrong time. These kind of came out right around when the recession hit, and people are just not interested in especially thirsty, expensive SUVs. People were downsizing, people were really hurting obviously, and just a good idea that I think was timed poorly. I think we kind of saw a resurgence of this with the Jeep Wagoneer in a slightly different way. You know, that's truck based, this wasn't, but I still think there's some potential to do something like that for Chrysler in the future if they, you know, decide to come out with some new models. But that one's very rusty though. As you can see, there's tons of rust. But we're onto the Chrysler section here now, and see if we can find any other interesting stuff here. Lots of the usual, Liberties, compasses. Looks like we got a 200 here. Stratus, those you don't see too often anymore. Here's an old 90s Grand Cherokee, a purple one. Again, different time when you had purple. I mean, it's a very nice color. Looks like this one had some mods. Maybe it was doing some overlanding or something for a while there. But very cool. First generation Grand Cherokee, back when they were all the rage. And got some interesting stripes on this Ram here. And oh, we got an old Cherokee down here at the end. Also this Dodge van. You don't see those too often anymore. Very long one. But yeah, Cherokee Sport. It looks like that one has been picked through pretty good, but these things are definitely getting more and more popular. 98 here for this one, and worth good amounts of money in good shape. And just to document it, I guess, we still have lots of PT Cruisers here in the junkyards. They are one of the most common cars in the Chrysler section here, sadly. Again, a car that I won't say it in every video, I promise, but highly popular, very fun car, and seeing all of these towards the end here is a little unfortunate because they were all very sought after in those early years especially. We also have a nice Durango Sport with a V8 Magnum right here too. That's a pretty rare car. Obviously, again, these things just get chewed up by rust. I feel like worse than anything. The Chrysler stuff typically, it's just man, oh man. Yeah, V8 Magnum, that's probably a fairly rare one, I don't know. And we do also unfortunately have a Magnum in the yard. This is thankfully the only one, so not super common because again, these are really rare, but I mean, seeing these drop off the road more and more these days. 2005 Magnum, again, a car that I think in the future has the potential to be very desirable someday. This is just a regular V6 SXT, but again, just love to see Dodge do another fun, awesome wagon. And could you imagine if they would have kept these going and given it all the awesome, Hellcat stuff that we had later on for Charger and Challenger? I would have loved to see Magnum just, continue on along with all the others for, the full duration of that run here up until 2024. Would have been really cool. But yeah, so anyway, that's the whole yard tour here at Pull-A-Part in Akron, Ohio here in September of 2025. Let me know what your favorite vehicle was from the yard here today. Let me know your thoughts on these videos in the comments below. Be sure to like and subscribe to keep these videos coming. And yeah, I'll see you guys in the next one. Take care.